In the heart of the snowy village of Windmere, where chimneys puff gently and streets glisten under lanterns, there stood an old candle shop called The Light Within. It was run by Elsie and Walter, a quiet couple with warm hearts and rough hands, always busy melting wax, trimming wicks, and carving stories into every candle. People came not just for candles, but for comfort, for light. They don't just sell candles, people would say. They sell peace. Elsie and Walter worked side by side for 40 years. They laughed, argued, danced in the kitchen, and built a life held together by melted wax and gentle light. Then, one quiet January, Walter fell ill. A winter cold turned to pneumonia. Days blurred in hospital visits and prayers, and just like that, Walter was gone. The funeral was simple. Snow fell softly. After the guests left, Elsie returned to the shop. She walked in, placed a candle in the front window, Walter's final creation, and lit it. "Come back to me," she whispered. The store closed. Her days grew quiet. But that candle, she lit it every evening at 6 p.m. For 12 years, the town watched Elsie light the same candle at the same time every day. Children would point and say, "There it is." Some parents told their kids, "As long as that candle burns, someone still remembers love." People passed by the window just to see that tiny flame. She never missed a night, not once, even on snowy evenings when no one else left their homes, even when the electricity failed. That candle became part of the town's rhythm, and no one even realized how much they relied on it. Elsie became something of a quiet legend. The baker left her fresh rolls every Tuesday. Teenagers would shovel her walkway in winter. Children drew her pictures and slid them under her door. Still, Elsie never reopened the shop. She remained in her memories, her silence. "I'm not strong enough to teach again," she'd murmur to herself. Not without Walter. But inside, something stirred. Something unfinished. One stormy night, wind howled through Windmere. Elsie reached for her matchbox, but they were soaked. She tried again and again, but the wick wouldn't catch. For the first time in 12 years, the candle remained unlit. She stared at it in the dark and wept. "I failed you," she whispered to Walter. "I can't even keep one promise." Just then, 3 soft knocks. She opened the door to find Liam, a shy 14-year-old boy from down the street, holding a slightly crooked, lumpy candle. "We didn't see your light tonight, Miss Elsie," he said, "so I made one. I followed the instructions you put in the window all those years ago in case I ever needed to remember how." Elsie held the candle, her hands trembling. "You remembered?" "Everyone remembers," he replied. That night, when Elsie lit Liam's candle, something magical happened. She looked outside and saw dozens of other candles flickering in windows across Windmere. A single mother placed one in honor of her late brother. An old man lit one for his wife. A young girl lit hers just because Miss Elsie does. The entire village glowed. Elsie's flame had ignited a movement, quiet, soft, real. The next morning, Elsie opened the door to The Light Within, dusty shelves, cold wax, empty jars, but she smiled. "It's time." She wrote a note. "Candle-making lessons begin next week. No charge, just bring your light." Each week more people came. Children molded playful shapes, teens made scented blends, elders shared candle stories from their youth, and once again the shop became more than a shop. Years later, after Elsie passed peacefully in her sleep, Windmere held a candlelight vigil. Not in mourning, but in gratitude. They renamed the shop the House of Light. And every evening at 6 p.m. to this day, villagers light a candle in their windows. Not just for Elsie, not just for Walter, but for everyone who needs a little light in the dark. Moral of the story: you don't need to light the world to make a difference. Sometimes all it takes is one small flame and the courage to keep it alive.